Welcome to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're brought to you by ACT, the region's business-to-business newspaper that tells you everything you need to know about advertising and public relations in order to bring new clients in and hold on to the clients you have. We have with us a very interesting guest today in the studio at WWDB. That's 860 on the AM dial. She used to be the Maury Povich of Philadelphia. It's Roberta Ginsburg, or Roberta G's, as she used to be known. And she has a very unique business called DNA Connect. Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Bonnie.
You were, for 3 years, the DNA expert on, shall we say it, Power 99, right? Well, that was a while ago.
That was a while back.
That was a while ago. And what did you do as the Maury Povich of Philadelphia?
Well, we promoted doing DNA testing for paternity on the show, and people would call in. They'd come to the show. I would do DNA sample collections and get the results, so they would come twice. And we would tell them, is this the father? This isn't the father. You are the baby daddy.
Every once in a while, I happen to catch the Maury show because I love Maury. He was a classmate of mine at Penn. He's very philanthropic to his alma mater. He and Connie have several scholarships going, and Maury gives a lot of money to the Kelly Writers House there. And he's so talented. But I watch that show and I think, oy vey, how can Maury Povich deal with those people? Did she sleep with her brother? Is her sister's husband the father of her child? I mean, it's really, it makes Peyton Place look benign.
Well, actually, what happens, you become you emerge and you become engrossed and enrolled and emerge into this story. And if you're sincere about what you're doing with the public and providing a much-needed service, especially protecting a child, the child's interest is at stake, you become involved in and it is a saga, it is a story, it is a TV show, it is a movie.
Everything has a plot. Well, we're talking to Roberta Ginsburg, who's the founder and the CEO of DNA Connect up in North Philly, and we'll be back after these messages.
The major holidays are almost upon us. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. Are you prepared for your holiday party events and other needs? Call Whims for Rent. They are a professional event planning company and can package your entire business or personal holiday event, or simply provide specific needs. They provide entertainment such as DJs or three-piece bands, Christmas carol choirs, or even Santa Claus. Other entertainment possibilities include walk-around magicians, fortune tellers, or look-alike celebrities. They aid large corporate events, smaller business attractions, and family affairs. Just tell them your goals. For a free consultation and free ideas, contact Whims for Rent at 484-562-0067. Again, that's 484-562-0067. They are located at 29 Bala Ave in Bala Cynwyd, Pennsylvania, or visit them on the web at www.phillybizmedia.com.
The Internet today is a must for businesses and organizations to represent themselves. A must. For the generations of business owners who did not have the advantage of an Internet education beginning in grade school, there is basic help. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. Our organization of marketing personnel, traditional and IT, will set up basic Internet advertising aids for your business or organization at a modest fee. Basics. No big deals, no big cost, just basics. Plus a free get-to-know-your-goals meeting. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. Be with it, or else you will be out of it. Again, call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060.
Need a speaker for your business meeting, organization, social group? Need a speaker who is entertaining, informative, or both? Need a speaker who is an authority on a subject close to your interests? We provide them. We are this region's Speakers Bureau. Call us at 484-562-0067. 484-562-0067.
The championship competition for the world's best German Shepherd dogs is coming to the Philadelphia area. The German Shepherd Working Dog Competition, featuring the top German Shepherds from countries around the world, will be held inside the PPL Park Thursday, October 17th to Sunday, October 20th, 2013. The event is open to the public and is a wonderful family event. The championship competition for the world's best German Shepherd dogs, October 17th to October 20th. Watch as these dogs perform amazing tasks such as tracking, obedience training, protection maneuvers, and more. Tickets are on sale at pplpark.com. That's pplpark.com. Or call Comcast Tickets at 800-298-4200. That's 800-298-4200.
Welcome back to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you from the Bala Cynwyd studios of WWDB AM. That's 860 on the AM dial. And we're talking with Philadelphia's answer to the Maury Povich Show. We're talking to Roberta Ginsburg, or Roberta G's, as she was known when she was on radio a few years ago. And her business is called Roberta G's DNA Connect. And tell us why testing a child or testing someone, a man, for DNA is an important public service.
Because a lot of people choose to wait, especially if there's doubt about who the father is when a baby's born.
You always know who the mother is, right?
Well, I once had a woman that brought me a baby. It was not her baby.
Really?
I did. I have stories to tell, honestly, Bonnie.
Oh, I saw that, on a crime show.
She clearly wanted contact with this man.
Oh, my
goodness. So she created a story and came in with a baby.
That she rented from someone.
That she, borrowed. And
hope she didn't steal. Hope she borrowed and not stole.
Test report came back. You are not the mother. You are not the father.
Oh.
And it was challenging to handle that.
Did anybody ever threaten you in your offices?
Yeah, I had a man threaten my life. And
what did you do?
There was something about a report that I was. It was past the date. I don't remember, but he called and he said, "You will do this, or you'll be sorry. You'll be hurt." Something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Did you have to call the police?
I did call the police. I reported it. I wanted it on record. And then there was another kind of Maury Povich kind of situation where I was in my office. A woman came in with her mother, big mistake, and their baby. And the father of the baby came in, bigger mistake, with his new girlfriend.
Oh, what a lovely family group.
And so I thought ahead. I had the alleged father and his girlfriend on one side of the room, and the mother and her mother on the other side with the baby. And at some point, the mother's mother started throwing eye daggers at the alleged father's girlfriend. Next thing you know, they're on their feet. Honestly, it was... the neighbors were calling the police, and everybody was screaming at each other.
Oh, my goodness.
And I used to be 5'5". I'm about 5'5". I got between this 6-foot-something man and this average height woman, and I said, "You will stop, and you will leave now." And I literally pushed the man out the door.
Oh,
I literally
wow.
pushed him out the door. They came back later to apologize, but that was about the worst incident short of the man who threatened me.
But in fact, you really do some testing or collecting of DNA samples for the Maury Povich show, correct?
Well, I do through the lab, yes. I have a corporate partnership with a particular lab that, does handle the DNA testing for the Maury Povich show. So when there is a client who is from Philadelphia-based or regionally based, they tend to send them to me for sample collections. I do that.
Now, you have an interesting background yourself because you were a medical technician.
Yes, I was a medical lab technician. I used to do a lot of house calls. I was very familiar with all areas of the city and suburbs. So I was out and about and pretty brave.
I guess so.
Or stupid.
I guess so.
I was out and about on the streets of Philadelphia, and so I have good relationships with people in this city, in this region.
Now, if people need your services for whatever reason to connect with DNA Connect, they would dial 215-849-0271. That's 215-849-0271. Can they reach you through the internet, Roberta?
Yes.
And your website is
DNA Connect, CONNECT.com.
Well, that's easy, www.dnaconnect.com. Oh, and she speaks Spanish.
We have a Spanish translator.
How many people work for you?
I have one person, and then I have a translator, and I have some marketing people.
Because your office is located in Hispanic in North Philly.
I just
correct?
moved there about 3.5 years ago. I've been I was on North Broad Street at the African American United Fund building, and I had to move. The building had some problems, so I moved to 5th and the Boulevard because the Hispanic people have the highest teen birth in our nation.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And so the value of doing a paternity test immediately upon a child's birth is invaluable, actually, because as you wait, men die, they get murdered. I get lots of calls about murdered men that would-be father.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's horrible. And so I promote testing in the first 60 days because it's easy to get a man's name on or off the birth record in the first 60 days. After that, it's a matter of filing and maybe court hearings. And
do you have to be involved with that?
Not usually. Once in a while, I'm called as a witness. Once in a while, I'm called as a witness by an attorney. I do have attorneys as clients. And
do you get involved with some of the people who come to you for paternity testing?
I get involved in trying to help them figure things out, especially if the wrong man's name is on the documents. I get involved with people who come to me and tell me they never knew their parents. I had one distraught adult who said that his mother abused him, and he always thought she was not his mother. Oh. And we did a test, and sure enough, he was adopted.
And she
never told him. And he was sad. So it comes up later in life. I have a lot of adults coming in wanting to do testing, or somebody says, I was always told this was my father, and then we find out it wasn't the father.
Not the biological father.
Not the biological, exactly. You're right, biological father. Because you can be the father not the biological father.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll be back after these messages.
All American Sports Collectibles is the only place you need to know for all your autographed sports memorabilia. Jerseys, bats, helmets, and more, signed by legends of the past and today's greats. All autographed items come with a certificate of authenticity, plus an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. And all vintage items have been scientifically authenticated and come with 2 forensic certificates. Call us at 877-827-7822. That's 877-827-7822. Visit us online to see our extensive inventory of autographed sports memorabilia. That's aasportscollectibles.com. That's aasportscollectibles.com.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. Per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Marketing of Business. We're brought to you by ACT, Advertising Communications Times. That's the monthly newspaper in this region that tells you everything you need to know about public relations and advertising. And we're talking with Roberta Ginsburg, who formerly was known as Roberta G's when she was on the radio as the Maury Povich DNA person of Philadelphia. Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Bonnie.
Enjoy talking to you. You've had a number of businesses before you founded DNA Connect. DNA Connect you started in 2001.
Yes.
But you had a number of other businesses, always with a medical slant, right?
Yes, because I was trained as a medical technician. I've worked with doctors. I've worked with patients. So I'm familiar with the field, and it just comes to me. It just it's like a magnet.
How do people find out about DNA Connect? Do you advertise? Do you leave flyers or something in churches? How do people find you?
All of the above. We do have a network of people that we contact on a regular basis who refer clients to us. We do ask for referrals. We do put flyers and business cards in various businesses. We don't usually advertise in print. We do some advertising, internet advertising.
You do banners online?
No, I don't do banners. I do Google AdWords right now.
What does that mean to do Google AdWords?
Well, you actually pay for clicks on ads, and you appear higher up. Although organically, my company usually appears first on a Google
Google search.
Yes, Google search.
How do people find you online? What would they type in? Simply DNA testing?
Yeah, Philadelphia DNA testing in Philadelphia, paternity testing in Philadelphia.
Interesting. Would you say that the majority of your clients are looking to establish paternity?
Majority of my clients, yes, are looking to establish paternity. An increasing area of business is relationship testing that's required under Homeland Security for immigration purposes. And that is required when you don't have enough paper proof like original birth documents.
When you fled for your life and you didn't get to bring all your papers with you, right?
Yeah, or you had an earthquake in Haiti or something.
Or a fire.
Yeah, and the whole country's collapsed around you and there's no paper left anywhere. Yeah, and we do. I had a client. I got involved and talk about Maury Povich and getting involved with your clients. And she was out of area. I actually went to her home. I think she had a nervous breakdown. She fled the Congo.
Ooh.
And her kids are still there. I don't know how she actually got out.
Oh, my.
But her children are there. When she got here, she couldn't speak a word of English. And she couldn't, she was too shy to ask anybody to help her and didn't know if anybody would help her. So she kept quiet for years and couldn't figure out how to file for her children. And then I went to help her, of course. And so she finally filed. They got their DNA testing that proved that she was their mother. But in the prelude to that was her son had disappeared. And they were in refugee camps, and her son had disappeared. He was angry with her. He said, "You waited too long. You didn't do enough. You abandoned us." So it was pretty sad, and I think she must have had a breakdown at some point where she couldn't function. But it's all okay now.
She got her kids over here?
Uh-huh.
All right.
And if I have a lawyer who does pro bono work through one of the nonprofit agencies, I'll actually give them a deep discount on the pricing.
Okay. If for some reason you need a DNA test, you can call Roberta G's DNA Connect at 215-849-0271. That's 215-849-0271. Or, Roberta, if they want to reach you by the internet,
would be www, of course, .dnaconnect, CONNECT.com, DNAconnect.com.
I see you also have an email address that's simply Roberta@DNAconnect.com.
Yes, or info@DNAconnect.com, either. Sure.
Okay. Are you good with a computer?
I'm okay.
Okay. But you use
I have
a
people
computer.
that I call to help.
Oh, but you
yes,
do
of course I use the computer. I respond to the emails.
And also, you let me know that when there's drug testing that's required, sometimes it's mandated by the government. You do testing of hair follicles. Explain what happens when someone uses drugs and you test the hair.
Yeah, when you ingest a drug, we're talking about illicit drugs, abuse drugs.
We're not talking about aspirin.
It stores in the hair shaft, in the hair follicle, and it stays there until that hair grows out. And so
that could be a long time.
Yeah, body hair gives you a picture of you within a year, and head hair is drug use within half an inch is a month. So if you have 1.5 inches, you've got a 3-month history of drug use.
Isn't that interesting? Now, that I've not seen on any of the cop shows on television.
No.
We'll have to write a script together, Roberta.
Yes. Criminal attorneys call me for that, or family attorneys when there's a divorce or child visitation and one parent doesn't want the other one to see the children. They'll accuse them of drug testing, or they are drug abusers.
Sometimes they really are.
Sometimes they are.
Unfortunately, they really are. Now, you had several other companies. One was called Medical Screening and Testing that you had for a long time. Do you still have that one?
No, I sold that company for profit, fortunately.
Well, that's nice.
In 2001, when I started DNA Connect, and I was I had 32 people doing insurance physicals, and we did employment physicals for Department of Transportation, asbestos abatement, medical surveillance under OSHA. It was complicated, and people's lives depended on that.
It certainly does. That's the first thing when there's a terrible automobile accident or a truck driver hits a regular car. The first thing they do, I guess, is to test their system and see if drugs are involved.
Yes, and on autopsy as well.
Oh, yes. Because
when there's a suspicious death, you go to the medical examiner.
Right, or in Montgomery County, there's an elected coroner, Dr. Walter Hoffman. Mm-hmm. And, right, if someone dies and it's not related to a terminal illness and it's a shock, especially if it's a younger person, and out of the blue, they always have to test, for drugs, unfortunately. Yes. Look what happened to Andy Reid's son.
Yes.
That was a terrible tragedy. He was on the road to recovery. He was with his father in training camp, And he doesn't come to the morning lineup, and they find him in the dorm room when they were at training camp. Oh, so sad. So which branch of the government would reach out to you to do this drug testing?
Well, the Department of it's any federally mandated. It's a safety sensitive any department of the government that
hasn't been shut down, right?
That's in like a Coast Guard, the military services, or they all require federal drug testing.
I would think
the Department of Transportation.
I would think anybody who flies an airplane would have to undergo drug testing too.
Yes.
That would be commercial airlines as well as military air people.
Correct.
Because you don't want somebody nodding off because they're doing drugs while they're flying a plane.
They nod off plenty when they're on alcohol.
Oh, that's true. But you don't test for alcohol.
No, I can test for alcohol.
Really?
Breath alcohol. I'm a certified breath alcohol technician.
Oh, my goodness. You've got a lot of talents there. Are men afraid of you because you can do this testing?
I try not to date men who need testing. And I am single. I like dancing.
Well, we'll see if we can line somebody up for you that doesn't need to be tested for DNA or for proof of paternity.
Might like to do salsa dancing.
Do your family members, they find it entertaining that you have to do this paternity testing, or that you're testing some of the people that they'll end up seeing on Maury Povich's television show?
I think they're more interested in talking to me about what wisdom I have as it applies to their life situations. So I have a lot of wisdom. I'm sure you do, too. You live long enough, you have no choice.
When you said you're in a Hispanic neighborhood and that Latina girls, teenagers, have the highest pregnancy rate in the country.
Teen birth. Teen birth.
Do you get involved with any prevention programs, or do the schools ask you to help them, to educate these young women to be safe, not sorry?
I do. I get calls from nonprofits, and I give them discounts. I also have brochures in my office about preventing pregnancy or
well, that's good.
STDs.
Although I have a feeling that there are not too many golf tournaments for charities that ask you for a gift certificate. Am I right?
You're right. Well, I do. I can take blood, and I do have a relationship with a laboratory, so I can do cholesterol screenings and glucose screenings, things like that.
Oh, well, that's...
I'm not concentrating on that these days.
Okay. All right. If someone needs the services of Roberta Ginsburg, for DNA Connect, they can reach her at 215-849-0271. That's 215-849-0271. And give them the website.
www.dnaconnect.com.
www.dnaconnect.com. Well, our guest today has been a very interesting person with a medical technician background who owns DNA Connect. Thank you, Roberta, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Bonnie.